yourselves, and you have control of that bottom lane, in my opinion. And secondarily, another way they have been winning is by outpacing the enemy team in the jungler, which I think Kingzone can shut down. Mugen has a near 50% jungle proximity. That means between 3 and 15 minutes, he's spending half the time near his opponents, and he switched over to Sweeper before his opponent jungler in all 4 games. So either Peanut needs to do the same, gank at the same rate, or just be ready to take his camps, because that is a jungle proximity that is too high to do consistently, I think.
As well, we saw Sword Art's champion pool there flashed up.
They've already gone for Tahm Kench, a staple of Gorilla. What that tells me is, hey, why don't you opt in for a ranged support? We'll gank you. And that has been something that Gorilla's fallen down to multiple times in the past.
And I want to talk about Tahm Kench because he's such a controversial champion, and everyone always brings up, oh, he's so OP, you know, with the Devour and the Abyssal Voyage cross-map move. Now, this champion does have a lot of strengths, but it also does not bring as much to a 5-on-5 team fight like something like a Braum. So there are also weaknesses to it. The thing is, though, they've been very good at using the strengths.
Doesn't have the best laning phase into Soraka either, which is something we have seen come out from Kingzone already this tournament. They lock the Rise here, have a lot of different picks to go next.
These two teams are good enough that the what-ifs always have flow-on effects. Well, Soraka comes in, gets ganked, dies fast. As the flow-on there is the Kai'Sa will be picked up for prey, so they will be going with it regardless.
And the Rise in the mid lane for BDD, so he can have the option of either setting up Kai'Sa plays with his Rune Prison and adding Plasma there, also using the Realm Warp to go to the bottom lane. But I want to redirect back to the Flash Wolves and this early select that they've done. The Kazakhs taken even with other tanks and Olaf as well left up. So Mugen has the opportunity to utilize this assassin. The problem is that we haven't seen it super effectively used later on in the game. It becomes difficult in pro play to fight 5-on-5, so he's going to have to use his stealth and pick people off and find those openings.
The greatest would have been the Be a Blind pick, so they're trying to give Hanabi as much of a chance as possible to counter pick.
So we see that range support possibility from Kingzone. They're going to switch from the Lulu to a Gnar in the top lane here for Khan, someone that can be aggressive. We've seen that split push Gnar build with the Ginsus, even with Runan's Hurricane at time as well. We'll have to see how he interacts with the team and just that support pick left for Gorilla.
All right, Gorilla looks like he wants some more lane phase power to help out the Kai'Sa early on so they don't get very far behind NCS. Lulu definitely very good at the laning phase, adding a lot of extra pressure there. But again, you're looking at this LMS lineup in there. There's so many directions that you can go with it.
Do they have Kingzone Dragon X exactly where they want them? Gorilla did opt into the ranged support who can get pressure but be ganked. If double flash goes down on Lulu and Kai'Sa, that's going to be just a terrible time. And here's Flash Wolves for last pick.
Matchup. That's a classic matchup if he picks it.
Calm down, calm down. Let's go.
No,
He's got it.
Come up, Kobe.
It is indeed going to be the Yasuo counter into the Gnar. We've seen it so many times. What you want to do in this matchup, Yasuo has so much mobility that's easy for him to try and take advantage of the Gnar mini form and go offensive in that time. They also have the Kazakhs as their jungler, so there's a lot of damage that they could bring to brunt in that matchup. However, Khan, this is your time to shine. There have been questions at this tournament. You know, the Vladimir play, very questionable. And we've seen this Yasuo pick into Gnar very, very frequently. Yes, it is always hyped up as, oh yes, super exciting counter because people want to see Yasuo played, right? But you also need to think about a lot of the pressure does come from kill pressure and where's the jungler or where is the Galio ultimate. Those are the things that Kingzone are really going to have to account for because we're approaching the level 6s coming in and the ultimate's becoming available for them to use.
A lot of pro players have actually spoken to me privately, some skepticism about still counterpick being used after Yasuo many moons ago got a lot of incidental nerds to base health and things like that. I think there's a lot of win more now because with Conqueror, he has the perfect keystone to really take over the game reliably. But I think the laning phase, if anything, got worse. The reliability got worse. You still get to the place, but a counterpick usually means in lane, and there are many situations where Yasuo can fall behind the Gnar.
Exactly, and a lot of them that do revolve around kill pressure get changed by so many different
Jungle
factors.
matchup.
Exactly.
General meta. Good point.
All right, well, we also should go over some other unique things. There are so many little different twists here. You know, Kog'Maw is, of course, running the lethal tempo. So with Kog'Maw, you can start the timer with a long-range ultimate and then move up and try and time your positioning so that when the lethal tempo procs, you get to have full use of it with your W active. It's really effective on champions that have ranges where they can really abuse those different timings. But of course, if you don't run fleet footwork, you aren't going to have
their opponents. We do have that Infinity Edge and Phantom Dancer finished on Hanabi in the side lane now. Khan's gone for a Thornmail of his own, but Mujin's going to face check straight into Peanut, dodges away. With the Voider, Sultan catch ult coming down towards that bottom side, trying to catch out BDD, but a great dodge and a flash keeps him alive for the moment.
Now the Summoner is the cost, and as Kobe has mentioned already, it's been Flashwolves getting something for nothing. While that something is a 0.1 on the way to the 100% needed for victory, it all adds up, and so far Kingzone, when they've actually made a move forward and made the wrong one. This time though, they do have positioning, they can slow with the pillar, and be at least a lot of damage onto his mid lane tower.
Remember, there's no teleport on Khan though. Hanabi can join this fight with a TP if he needs to, but you can see Kingzone pull down towards the bottom side, trying to meet up with their top laner.
Galio ult is available if Mujin jumped in.
Khan's chasing off Hanabi off towards the top side of this prey, trying to dodge around. Betty and Sword Art pushing forward. Khan goes into Mega, has the blast cone, can look for the knock into the wall. That's exactly what he's going to do, but a great devour from Sword Art keeps his AD carry. Swallow gets away, Yasuo in the front line gets two, and it's a great fight for Flashwolves. Kingzone are dethroned here by the Flashwolves. It's 4 for none.
That's going to be the Baron. They can even take Infernal Drake on the way. It looks like they're splitting here for the objectives. Peanut is the only surviving member of Kingzone, and he just has to watch everything be taken off the map.
Coach Harai and Axine also picture-in-picture look on with disgust. We started all with chasing down the Yasuo, slowing him down, but he finds the last breath. It's on to Prey.
Now they split up towards the top lane. They've got Galio mid, they've got the Yasuo bot. A 3-1-1 is being enacted.
Just watching here, BDD try to clear the waves in mid lane. I want to draw your attention to a stat. This was from before today. When it comes to team fights, Flashwolves have a 7-kill death ratio. They're 14 into team fights. We'll have to hold for a moment.
Prey's going to step forward. It's a 3v3. Mujin off towards the side. The Redemption comes out to heal up Betty once again.
But that means when 8 members are on your screen, they were 14-2. They're 18-2 now. They're even higher when it comes to that. That means when the second place team was up next to them, it was a 1.5 kill to death ratio. The cleanliness by which they team fight has been by far the best in the tournament. That's not something anyone expected coming in. This new roster with Mujin coming in and the mixed language nature, but they've been so clean, and we got the perfect example in that Yasuo team fight.
There we
Perfect
go.
example in Hanabi. There's the Gnar maple in towards the side, but a great pillar will separate him from the fight. Hanabi trying to dodge around, gets the last breath onto Peanut. There's a hero's entrance as well. Eventually Hanabi falls, and now Maple not in the best of spots, but Betty's on his way. The killer instinct from Prey onto Maple. Mujin kills Gorilla off towards the backside, and now Kingzones are the one who have to run away because Mujin is hungry for kills. Can't try to trade into him. Mujin eventually has to back away, but Flashwolves are in such a good spot.
And with the Baron buff, they can easily push down this turret and the inhibitor turret.
They may not be able to end the game, but it seems like the last dagger through the heart might be one that kills off the hopes of Kingzone. Flashwolves really in the front seat to go 5-0.
Looking for that top spot, that rapid fire cannon. Remember, lethal tempo on him. Look for that extra attack speed that can come out. Once again, Redemption used the heal. Super's pushing in that bottom lane. BDD has to answer. Flash was just waiting for the next rotation of waves before they go for that inhibitor tower in the top lane.
Nothing's going to slow them down, though. Still no meaningful cooldowns used. They really want to break the base here.
But what a lead for Flashwolves now as well. It's spread up to 10,000 gold 30 minutes in. Kingzone are just getting torn apart.
Yep, Mujin's gone for the mid lane minions. Super's down bottom mean BDD has to answer there, so that means top turret takes a few shots.
See Prey trying to dodge around the side of this fight. Pops the Void Assault, maybe looking to jump in at some point, but Betty says, oh no, you don't, you can't step up to me.
Lethal tempo, and the W active there gives a lot of DPS.
Maple stepping forward, a great double taunt. Mujin coming in from the side as well, and already Gorilla is down. Prey jumps in with the killer instinct, it's all on him. It's all on Khan. The knockback, can Kingzone somehow revive this game? Betty jumped on. He kills him. Hero's entrance as well, and now Kingzone have been able to force Flash Wolves back.
Some heroic team fighting there. Huge move by B to flash in and assassinate Betty. As Surprise Gorilla dying with ult up, but Mujin, he's caught as well.
That's going to be the Guardian Angel down, and they should get the kill right afterwards. This is with an Ocean Drake up and 54 seconds left on Baron. Kingzone should be able to recover.
That's why you can never count Kingzone out. We say it every game. A single mistake is all they need to get back in.
Watch the replay here. The execution from
Between the two of those, so we'll have to see where these teams put their priority. Flash Wolves sitting on 3 Elemental Drakes themselves would get a lot more out of that Elder Drake. But now, with the vision control, basically only in their own jungle here, Kingzone need to work out if they can push forward a little bit and try and track Flash Wolves.
I feel like both Kobe and I are leaning in, looking at the eyes, be like, all right, what's that over there? Because it's so tense, you're right. There's so little to split the two teams. The map play is going to be in the next minute or so, setting up around the Elder or around the Baron. The item timings are so even. So little separates the two teams, but right now, tempo or control around Elder, that is definitely a win for Flash Wolves.
The one thing that does separate the two AD carries is the fact that Betty has gone pure aggression here. There's a QSS into Mercurial for prey, so he's had to be a little bit safer. He doesn't have something like a Tahm Kench to protect him.
No Knight's Vow, no damage reduction on a Galio ultimate. Both of those are purely with Betty.
Yep, you're going to want to be more offensively minded when your support is the Lulu. Here we go, though.
Stuff dies real fast.
Quickly, that falls Mujin's in the midst of it all. The hero's entrance, look for the last breath knockup. Can't quite connect. Elder Dragon falls though, and now Flash Wolves can try and take this fight.
They're going in.
Oh, man, torn from Maple, and once again, the mid lane steps up. Betty says, oh no, you don't, to Kingzone, and forces them running back to base.
Such a good initiation there. Mujin stealths into the middle. They get the giant Galio ultimate that zones the whole team off of the Elder Dragon, allows Flash Wolves to finish it up, and with the extra damage, they're pushing right down mid.
With the recalls, they're going to get at...
Nolo time is you say for Kingzone. They've started up the Baron down to 3,000 HP. The Gnar misses onto Mujin. The Baron is going to fall. It goes to Gorilla, but can Flash Wolves take the fight? Can Kingzone somehow survive? Betty kills one in the backline, and Betty is just spitting out hell upon Kingzone. A triple for him, can't survive, but eventually he will fall as well, and Flash Wolves are going to go top of the group.
That was such an amazing game, and Flash Wolves in the end completely ace Kingzone and finish it off.
A super well-deserved victory for the Flash Wolves. They were the ones that enjoyed the lead for the majority of this game. The better team for the majority of the game pick up the victory. There is no big comeback for Kingzone, and Flash Wolves are your favorites for MSI.
Flash Wolves, the Kingzone Slayers. 5-0. That's an incredible performance by them to take down the LCK champions.
Kingzone vacated a lot of this early game. They made changes thinking that we could beat Day 1, Day 2 Flash Wolves. Well, Day 3 Flash Wolves had a new side, a new string to their bow. The Yasuo top lane completely stopped any sort of impact from the Gnar coming through from Khan. The top lane carrying Khan was negated.
Once a Yasuo main, always a Yasuo main,
Apparently.
my friend.
Apparently.
Doesn't matter how many tanks you play in between.
And if you're Flash Wolves now, you're looking at the second half of the tournament and saying, we're pretty unbeatable.